on last week's episode with Petty Chevy. I take this header collector off so I can make room for a new brake line in the future. I cleaned up both calipers so I could bring them back to a fresh, new appearance. I start to make my new brake lines, forming them to the way that I want them. And as the parts collection grows of things we take off the vehicle, we've got our first package delivery of new parts for the car.
Welcome back to this episode with Petty Chevy. We're going to pick up where we left off last week, and we're going to continue to make some brake lines. Before we get into making the brake lines, we're just going to go through a quick package that we got. I ordered some parts that I needed for the vehicle. We've got our new dual air filter pods for that to go on our carburetors so we can start getting that put back together. We've got some new quarter turn wing nuts for the back hatch. We've got some self-ejecting wing nuts. These are really neat because what they do is they operate the same as a quarter turn, but they'll self-eject and you can't lose them. So I thought that would be really convenient to have. Got a new knob for the door on the passenger side. New fuel pump that the vehicle didn't come with, so we're going to need that to get running. We've also got our first upgrade / modification to making it street legal. We've got these mirrors. They are a long acre 3-inch mirror with a clamp on them. They have an adjustability to slide on the end. You turn this nut here, you'll be able to slide it in and out. We've also got an adjustability up and down, left and right. So hopefully that will be exactly what we need to get the vehicle street legal, or at least partly there. I also want to say that I got all these parts from Legends Direct. This is not a sponsorship for them. I just wanted to say that with my first experience buying parts for Legends cars, I think I bought these last Thursday and I got them on Tuesday. So it was really quick. I really appreciate them shipping it out, and I look forward to doing more business with them in the future. But again, it's not a paid sponsorship. I just want to let you guys know where I'm getting some of my supplies in case you happen to have the same issue, things that you want to get. An assortment of clamps, fittings, hoses, so I was really glad to see that it wasn't just the fuel pump. This is the 3 to 6 PSI, I believe it was, fuel pump that's good for the carbureted engines. So we're going to go ahead and start working on some of those things too. But first we're going to go ahead and get stuck into our brake lines.
This part of the brake line fought me a little bit because of its proximity to the firewall and how sharply it was bent downward. I had to get the drill out so I could get this rivet relieved so I could actually separate the brake line at this junction. Not sure if I'm going to replace the other side of this junction just yet. However, this is where I'm intending to make the brake line up to for the rear brake feed line. Here I was getting my brake line set up in my form-fitting jig. What this brake line needs is a 3/16 double flare. The way that you achieve that is you set up the brake line with this insert to get the first flare set up, which is more of a belled or a bubbled flare. And then after you've got the bubble flare, you remove the insert and press it with the final arbor press to get a trumpet-like fluted flare on it. Coming up, this is the final flare on the brake line. I may have to redo it because it was a little difficult to make sure I did it while I was still in frame shot. After about 10 minutes with the wire brush, I've got a little before and after of the calipers. On the left side is before using the wire brush and just a little bit of elbow grease, no cleaners and nothing else. On the right is the after. I think what we're probably going to do is either try to get these powder coated or get it painted. So we're just going to get these cleaned up and get them in good service again. After me removing the old brake line, this was me just installing the new brake line, trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to run it and what was going to be the best place for this to go that doesn't interfere with anything. After being completely too particular about my first bend, I just moved on to bending the rest of the line. I always just try to make my bends as smooth and straight as possible. It's just one of my little idiosyncrasies that I have. I didn't have a tape measure with me, so I was just trying to find something within the shop that had the right depth and the right length so that I could measure it up and get my brake line's next bend set up well. And as it turns out, the Legends Direct sticker that I got in the box worked out perfectly.
Spent some more time off camera forming the line a little more, and this is what I've come up with. I've got a pretty good radius 90-degree bend here and a 90-degree bend. You would have seen me do that on camera. In comparison to what they originally had was the line sitting up here 90-degreed out towards the outside of the car. It would follow down, and then at this point is where it went over the firewall and started to bend down. Obviously this radius is not the same as it was because I had to unbend it to get it out of the car. What I've got right now, I formed on the car. I don't really like doing it this way, and I'm going to have to do it this way, the way that the line is ran. I've got a good 90-degree bend here, and I'm going to have to unbend to get it installed. Unfortunately, there's just no way around it. Then I've got another bend here where it starts towards that junction. At that junction, I'm going to mark it. I'm going to take it off or unbend it while it's on the car, cut it, and get it fit. Thanks for making it to the end. I'm going to end the video this week right there. Unfortunately, today is a very hot and humid day, and I'm starting to get a little overheated, so I need to take care of myself in that respect. Can't go too hard. I don't know if we're going to have a video next week. I've got a bit more life-changing events happening that I need to focus on a little bit. But if you go follow the New Yankee Auto Systems page on Facebook, we are trying to keep that up to date and let you guys know when we have our next video launching. I do appreciate you sticking around to the end. If you've gotten this far, I'd really appreciate a like, subscribe, comment, anything that you guys can do. Just show me what you guys want to see. Content still is not my main goal, but I want to bring something to you guys and I want to make something out of it. So just let me know what you guys think, and I really appreciate you sticking around.